Hey guys, welcome back to the Run Differently podcast. I'm Ruben Gutierrez, and alongside me are some of the other hosts here, Katie Neal,
Yo,
Matthew Wolf.
What's going on?
We're back.
Yeah, we're back. We're back with another episode.
Excited.
And
Here we are.
This week is going to be good. I mean, we're just going to talk about just who we are, where we come from, how do we get here just in a position to even be on a podcast together, and just how our relationships grew to be such close friends. I mean, I want you guys to understand just the background and the context of all of us, so that moving forward, you guys can know that we're not just some guys who are acting like we have it all together, because we don't. Like Matthew said in our very first video that we dropped, that we're trying to figure it out as well. We don't have it figured out. I mean, we're college students living life. Matthew has got a baby on. I'm just joking.
Whoa.
I'm joking. It's
I
on
thought
the
you were
last
about to be like
episode.
Matthew's like working in a church.
No,
Matthew is working in the church. Yes.
Future
It was
father.
a joke. It was a joke back to the past one when he was talking about how what he's going to let his kid do and not
Yes.
do for Halloween.
You gotta go watch that episode.
You got to go watch the episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Matthew's he's a student minister at a church. I'll let him explain that more.
Yeah.
Kate and Neil takes care of disabled people, right?
Kinda, not really. Social work.
Social work.
Some of them are a little.
I got you.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
And then I do construction. Yeah, and we'll dive into that, just who we are, and just help you guys understand who we are as well. But yeah.
And I've heard that this is going to be a two-parter episode.
Yeah, so this is going to
Yeah.
be two parts. I'm leaving for New York next Thursday, so I won't be able to get this in. Today is Thursday, the day of the recording, and we're going to try to submit every Monday. So we won't be able to record next Thursday, and so we're going to get this next video in as well.
Yeah.
That
Put it
college
out for
life.
you guys on Monday. And
Shout
yeah.
out New York, man. In
Yeah.
New
Dude, I'm
York.
excited.
Are you going to New York?
No.
No. Okay. I wish I was going, man. It sounds like a good trip, but
I heard that Mike Ackerman, the professor, is taking the biggest group
how many?
ever. How many of y'all are going? Like,
I think there's like 30 of us.
bro, that's
Yeah.
a lot for one man to be taken.
Well, there's also a female leader, Faith Rogers. She's
Okay.
great. She's going to do amazing.
Faith Rogers, she's a student here.
Yeah, well, it's not Rogers no more. It's
Nevener, right?
yeah.
She's got. Hey, shout out Faith.
Yeah, and
And
Andrew.
AJ.
Andrew. Yeah.
Just had a wedding.
Shout out everyone.
Just had a wedding.
Let's just run through our shout outs. You got any more?
Caleb Malik.
Yep,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
They
yeah.
just got
Shout out
married.
Pierce,
Yep.
Malik, man. Hey,
Hey, shout out Mom. Mom, if you're watching this.
Yeah.
Love
Ma,
you. We love our moms.
how you
Shout
doing?
out Christy Wolf, just so like no random mom's gonna be like, he's talking about me. No, Christy Wolf. Let's make,
Shout out Christy, but shout out every mom.
Yeah,
you know what
but
I'm saying?
we can do that too. Let's shout out Ozark. Okay, we gotta.
No,
Shout
we're
out.
good.
Hey,
Hey,
you
we're
know
done
what?
with the shout outs.
No, we should do one shout out for real quick. Shout out Caden Neal. Caden brought us some
Hey.
refreshing beverages down. What do we got to say about these, Ruben? I know
Man, here we go. We're not sponsored by them, but we just want to give a shout out to Body Armor.
Yeah.
We got to do.
Yeah,
What's it called? What did I tell you guys it was called?
something.
I don't.
The sponsor. Yeah, we
Yeah.
have to do like a sponsor.
We're not paid. Oh, I just broke it. We're not paid, but we just want to.
We're not
Yeah.
sponsored.
If you're an
sponsoring,
athlete,
though.
or
Yeah.
if you just work out for fun, like I do, and Matthew tries to do, have Body Armor. It's really good for the body. Didn't do my research on this.
Or
So I just got such I was like, man, Body Armor, fun drink. Matthew doesn't work out. All right, Liz. So
or you're like me. You don't work out, but it looks good, and it was in the Ozarks too. Cheap, guys.
yeah, how much was it?
$3.75 for 3 bottles.
I love it. Gatorade
Hey,
can
bro,
be expensive.
That's better than the store.
Hey, Loki, we're gonna have to cut that out, bro. This guy is not gatekeeping this, bro. Everybody's about to be gonna go for Body Armor now.
What?
Like, did that make no sense at all?
Oh, I thought you meant like, wait, cut the episode. We can't.
No, like we're not. Yeah, like we're gonna have to cut that out because now you're gonna leak it to
Oh,
everybody.
I thought he meant for real. Like we're have to go. Like he's gonna edit this
no,
out.
no. Oh, yeah. So
We're
let me
still
explain that
rolling.
to these guys too. Yeah, we're trying to do like no jump cuts. Like we want it to be as authentic as possible. So like,
That's why I stopped.
Are we
So I was
cutting
like-
this?
no, we're
No,
not.
that's
Oh,
why-
we're like we gotta gatekeep this, bro.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
what are you doing?
not in the stew. Not in the stew.
I was so confused when I was like, he's gonna get up. Like, people are gonna get upset that we
Bro,
said
when you
that?
go back and look at it, someone will be like, "Dang, bro."
We get blacklisted by Gatorade. They're like, I can't believe they did that.
We just get a letter in the mail, $50,000
desist.
fine, bro.
And there goes the podcast. It's
Yeah.
over.
Hey, just a bunch of guys don't know what
Yeah.
we're doing.
But yeah, shout out Body Armor. Body Armor's a great
Get you some.
drink, especially if you're looking for something cheap alternative to Gatorade. I think it tastes
It's
as
fire.
good, if not a little better. It's got more variety of
Facts.
flavors. I'm drinking orange mango right now. What do you got, Ruben?
I've got fruit punch.
Fruit punch.
I got strawberry banana, man.
Ooh, strawberry banana. Yeah.
Fire.
No, there's like a purple one they got. I don't remember where
pretty
it's
good.
at, but
Isn't that like the
That's
one
at
like
the
Mamba
store.
mentality or something?
I don't know. I just
Yeah.
remember when I used to work roofing.
Mm.
Man, the Amish, bro, they'd have like coolers full of body armor and Mountain Dew.
Hey, shout out to Amish.
Are they?
Man,
They
that
have
was the best one.
I don't really know how Amish like the whole culture works. Are they allowed to have body armors, or did you just like snitch on someone?
Guess so.
Bro. Oh, hold on. Let me explain.
I
That
guess
guy-
they're not going to watch this.
my
Anyway,
guy's
so.
not Amish. He used to be Amish, and then he kind of converted out. He's
Gotcha.
Christian now. But yeah,
Hey, shout out body armor. Don't
Yeah.
go get a body armor from the store. Go get an Alani or something. Unless you want body armor.
I didn't know we were going with that. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
That was smooth.
Yeah.
That was smooth.
I like
Hey,
that.
body armor, give us a call.
Yes.
All right.
All right, Ruben. Let's. We've had a lot of. Get us going with something here.
I got
Let's
you.
have a conversation.
Hey, if you're
Yeah.
listening, that's just what we do for a living.
Yep.
We just chat. You know what I'm saying?
We just talk.
we're D1 yappers. Honestly,
Yes.
we should have got offers from colleges, but we didn't. And so we're here at Ozark, just annoying people.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
They gave us microphones and
But yeah,
headphones.
Kaden, we're gonna start off with you, bro. We're just gonna ask you, what's your major, dude? What are you doing here?
My major at Ozark Christian College is biblical communications. Now, for some of you watching who don't know, if you're not a student at Ozark or have Ozark ties, that is our preaching degree. And so it's just equipping students to preach the gospel, but it's more in depth. There's a lot more classes where we have classes that, there's emphasis in teaching through the Bible, creating sermon series to where you can plan out ahead of time, working through certain books, Old Testament, New. But the basis of it is just emphasis in preaching, because whoever's in that degree, they want to preach in some capacity. And so,
Yeah.
Matthew.
Yeah, I'm a student ministry major. So originally came in doing general, but after what?
This guy,
Oh,
Kaden.
because you're a BibCom too.
2v1.
Well,
Shots fired.
let me hype up the youth ministry program. So I love youth ministry. My man KG Kevin Greer is my advisor, and yeah, it's a great program. And I think especially like you kind of mentioned, I work at a church currently, so I work at Journey Church Joplin. They're a youth minister there, and already just like I'm a junior at Ozark, but the classes and like the focus and like the application that we take out of the class has just been like life changing, especially to ministry, but also just to like myself as like training to be a pastor.
Yeah, I mean, we're in strategies for teaching together. Like, has that helped out? Like,
100%. Yeah. So strategy for, like already, I feel like small groups in my youth group have gotten so much better. I think just like connecting with students, like tailoring questions to them, tailoring lessons to them, not preaching to them, but teaching them. It's just been, I mean, like seriously, it's like years, I feel like, of like difference of like what someone would be in normal ministry learning it, than like you have someone as experienced as Kevin Greer like directly telling you, hey, you should do it like this. It's awesome.
Yeah, I gotcha.
What's your major? I mean, I already said BibCom, but what's your
Dude,
major?
Yeah, like Matthew said, I'm a BibCom major.
But you're switching to youth, right?
Not switching to youth, but I'm like contemplating. I'm not gonna lie, like it's really heavy on my heart. Switching the why am I drawing a blank? The missions major. What's it called?
Intercultural studies.
Intercultural studies, man. I'm just
Missionary.
this summer cut me up, dude, bad.
Okay.
And so,
because you were in Africa this
yeah,
summer.
I was in Africa this summer, and then like just seeing. I mean, I'm in Central's Christian Mission and Culture now with Wade Landers. Shout out Wade.
Great class.
Number one
Dog.
shout
That's
out.
a hard.
He's a
That can be a
dog.
hard class.
I love
too.
Wade
He's
to
a
death.
dog.
Yeah.
I get to lead a group of 7th grade boys with him on Wednesdays.
That's awesome.
He's great. But yeah, just talking with him, what it's like and stuff like that. And it's like, I've got a heart for God's people. And I don't know. I just don't know what he's doing. At first, I thought it was chaplaincy in the military. And now it's just like, I don't know what God's going to do with my life. So yeah, was BibCom or still is BibCom. Don't know what it'll be in the next year. But yeah,
Working
like
through it.
Caden said, it's just like a preaching degree to an extent, but there's so much more with just a bunch of different like formatting of like you said, diving into the text, putting together lessons and stuff, and also just what's that one? Forget what it's called.
ABC.
Yeah, that
Advanced
one.
Biblical Communications.
Yeah, I'm not taking it yet, but it's like they literally give you like reps. Like you have to go like 6 weeks out of the whatever. Maybe it's more than that. Like and actually preach at a church.
Yeah.
6 Sundays.
I think
yeah.
they're right.
Interesting.
I think every week they some people say that it's one of the hardest classes at Ozark, just because
Really?
like of how many sermons you're writing.
And kind of like what's required
Yeah.
of you. And then,
I was talking to Chino, a friend of ours here at the school, and I'm pretty sure he's writing 3 sermons a week.
Wow.
And I think
crazy.
it's like
Wow.
preaching. I think he has to preach like 8 times throughout the semester in class, and then every other sermon's like outlines. So like,
Yeah.
it's a lot. It's a lot of research because it's different texts across the board. And so like, I mean, again, it just sounds like the preaching degree, but like,
Yeah.
there's so much more to preaching that I was, didn't even know about that a lot of people don't.
100%.
And so it's a tough degree.
It's crazy.
But
Yeah.
I know people who've dropped out of it because they're like, I'm not taking it advanced biblical communication. I won't
Yeah.
take it.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah, and they go preach everywhere. I mean, I got a couple guys on the floor that go like an hour, 2 hours away, just to preach, and so it's crazy. Some of them go out to Kansas. This is where you're from, right, Caden?
Yep. 316. Hey, if y'all can see Ruben's shirt right now, he's repping my city right now. WSU, Wichita State Shockers, baby. Shout
I
out
got
Woo
you.
Shock.
Hey, what was it like growing up like in Wichita? Because isn't it like one of like the most dangerous? Like, can you go into that?
In the
like,
state
just,
of Kansas.
Just in Kansas. Sorry, let me
In Kansas.
Kansas.
Yeah.
Whatever goes on in Kansas.
Right.
But
Nothing.
But like, I mean,
Yeah.
growing up, like, what was it like? Kind of like following the Lord. What
Yeah.
temptation did you have? What were the struggles?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Just give us some information about you, dude.
Life in Wichita was definitely interesting, eventful, entertaining. What's the other? Spontaneous, because a lot of I didn't come to faith in Christ and like actually living that out, pursuing Jesus until I was 17.
Okay.
A week before my senior year in high school.
Shout out youth ministry.
Come
Am I
on.
right? Come on.
But,
Come on.
I really didn't even go to the youth ministry. I was
Shout
just
out
locked
Lido,
in.
bro.
Shout out Lido and church camp.
That's an awesome man
Youth
right there.
ministry, I guess.
He's awesome.
Yeah, he's a dog. Hey, shout out Lido. And so pretty much life before that was life living for the world in a big city. And I mean, we all know the gist of what big cities, a lot goes on. There's gangs, there's a lot of sin when it comes to just, things of people being sexually immoral and people are young and in pursuit of
Yeah,
love
and like even
all
like
that.
elaborate on that, because like I feel like some like kind of like the whole point of the podcast is like run differently, but it's like some people in this world like they don't know what you mean by that, like sexually immoral or like just drugs and stuff like they think it's normal.
Yeah.
So what did that look like? Obviously now versus then. Did you know what I mean?
Yeah, so I was a partaker in a lot of sin of that nature, and so I mean, when looking back now, when I say like drugs and whatnot, it wasn't like it may correct me, stop me, and correct me if I'm not answering your question right. But when it came to like what they would indulge in, like when I say drugs, it was just a lot of like alcohol, people trying to get away from the world, trying to escape their problems through the pursuit of drugs, or just trying to fit in with the crowd.
Right.
And so marijuana was huge just because I know a lot of people drank and partied and whatnot, but I was in public schools and people drank, they'd get drunk, but smoking pot and selling drugs was a big, big part of what I experienced in high school. That's just how people made their living. That's just how they went about life because that's what their homes had to offer. And then on top of that, it's like no one likes to be single. And so people will pursue relationships and engage in things that as a Christian,
Premarital,
you're right. That's not the standard we set for ourselves. And
We don't even set it though. Like
right. Those scriptures,
The scriptures.
speak on that I was oblivious to. Not oblivious. My heart was hardened too until I came to faith. And so, I mean, life in Wichita, it was interesting though. When I look back, you know what I'm saying? As one should, I regret a lot of, past mistakes. But at the same time, I'm thankful for the things that I've been through and experienced because I think that I believe that God is going to use those experiences for me to minister to people. And I already get to do that.
Yeah.
I lead a small group at a church here called Hope City of senior guys. And don't get me wrong, Joplin, there's a lot going on. But whenever they feel like they need someone who can relate to them of like what the high school experience was like, I know I can get the gist of what they're talking about and stuff.
Do you think whenever you graduate, you'd want to, wherever you end up, whether it's back in Wichita, would you think you'd want to go work at a church or somewhere within a city so you can kind of connect to students in that same kind of
absolutely
model? Yeah.
We just shouted out Caleb Malik earlier. I was talking to him in my freshman year and things. God has just given me a heart for the urban environment. I know that the country folk need their pastor. The country folk need their ministers. But I know God has wired me to connect with people, with a lot of people, by the way He's wired me. I love people. And so I don't think it makes sense for me to go somewhere where that can be limited. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, absolutely. I'd say inner city ministry is what God would be calling me to. Probably ideally nothing smaller than Wichita. And Wichita's about 400,000. And so.
Okay.
I got you.
Yeah.
400,000. Maybe I'm just
What's
ignorant to
Joplin
it.
at?
Joplin's like 22,000.
Yeah.
But
And you're from St. Louis, right?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'm from like the county though, so like outside. I'm South County, so that's kind of like South County's kind of getting a little rundown. I like drove home the other day, and especially just because I work here at CIY and at the church. I don't travel home that much anymore, like little weekend visits. So I went back. I think it was about a month ago, and I was like driving down like Telegraph, this like big like road in my street, and I was like looking around. I was like, "Yeah, what's going on around here?" I even told my dad, I was like, "Kind of looks a little run down." He's like, "No, it doesn't." He called me like 2 days later when he was driving down. He's like, "Man, this place is getting a little run down." And I was like, "I knew I was." But yeah, I'm not very, That's why whenever you say like inner city and stuff, like your whole experience and stuff is totally different. Like even though I'm from St. Louis, which I don't know how big St. Louis is. Maybe it's a little bigger.
Oh, it's their metro population gets around 1 million. When you pull in the suburbs, that's
really
Wichita's metro is probably like 750,000.
Okay,
so similar.
Wow, yeah. But again, I just live. I think, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm closer to kind of getting out of the county than I am even hitting downtown St. Louis.
Yeah.
So that I think that kind of brought a whole different things. Were you? I don't want to cut you off. Did you have anything else you want to talk about with inner city?
I mean, that's the gist of it. Just eventful. I'll tell you what. When you're in the city, there's a lot to do. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think that's where I didn't have that experience because I grew up, South County, so it was a suburban kind of place. So my school, I kind of had a good split of, I had people from like the city that might have gotten like bussed in, but I also had people that like just lived in that Melville area. We had people. But yeah, I think one thing I've noticed with talking with other people, and whether it comes to inner city kids, where it comes to you're in a rural high school, whatever, it's a lot of those same problems. Just kind of they mask themselves different, but deep down it's the same problem. And I think what I've run into over and over again is it's an identity struggle.
Yep.
Is the biggest deal, and I think that's what I really went through in high school. I was never flying off the rails. I don't think I was a problem child. Maybe my parents would tell me I'm wrong when they watch this.
Yeah.
But I was never getting in fights. I was never doing whatever. But I definitely had this kind of like identity struggle where I wanted to have a mask on when I was at church, but also like when I was around people at school, I didn't want to be like, "Oh, you're a weird kid."
Yeah.
A story that like always I think about, and I'm sure, I don't even know if my dad remembers this. I think I might have told Ruben this before. But I was getting picked up by them from a basketball practice. I think this was probably my freshman year, most likely. I wasn't able to drive yet. And again, I had this big desire to fit in. And I remember like I was trying to like be cool, and I would like cuss, but it wasn't me. But I wouldn't cuss in front of my parents because my dad's a pastor. And also that's just not like, you don't do that, right? Like I don't curse. And I remember him picking me up. I'm sitting in the back of his truck, and as we're driving away from the school, my dad's kind of, again, like me, big personality, and he's like shouting at someone, like one of my teammates as they're walking to their cars, like yelling something, whatever. And I said, I literally like in the back of the car, I was like, "Hey, can you stop? It's hard enough you're a pastor." And like I said it, and I was like, "Oh," I was like, I want those words back. And dude, it like still to this day hurts me because I remember him looking back. He was like, "What is that true?" And I was like, man, that's just so hard. But that's just kind of, we can get into a little in a second more the more we unpack it. But I think it's just kind of that thing that I've always noticed. Like it's even inner city kids, it's that identity struggle. They're trying to find themselves. They want to fit in. So it's like, all right, if everyone's smoking weed, I'm going to smoke weed. If everyone's drinking, I'm going to go try to drink. If we're cursing, okay, I guess we'll curse. It's just that group think mentality because, man, if you're I don't know what the saying is, but it's like if you're a nail sticking up, you're going to get hammered down.
Yeah.
So it's like you're just trying to blend in with the crowd. You're trying to fit in.
Yeah.
And that can be hard for Christian students, people that are trying to live a life of Christ, and you're in school systems where it's just everyone's doing this, and you're going, man, I'm the weird one.
And I think that's where like Satan like gets us. I mean, it's just like I forget who says it, but it's like all he's trying to do is just get his foot in the door.
Yeah.
And then once he gets his foot in, he gets his leg in. and then his arm in, and then he's in, and it's just like, and so it's no longer like you and Christ. It's like you and Satan, because I mean, like we're like there cannot be both. It's you serve the light,
Yes.
or the kingdom of light, or you serve the kingdom of darkness, and that's what Wade Lander says, and it's just like it's so true. So like if you're cussing, that's gonna lead to more stuff. If you just indulge in some alcohol here and there, like that leads to more stuff. And it's a snowball effect, and I really do believe that. I mean, you start off, I forget what it was, like stealing. There's a paper about it. Like they start off stealing, or a story, sorry. Someone like stealing candy or whatever, and that goes on to like stealing money, and then and then it just keeps going, and eventually it ends up like there's something that you can't take back.
Yeah,
and it leads to like jail time or like prison time, and it's like it sucks. I mean, it's just the same thing. Is like it's Satan like captivating you.
Oh yeah,
and
he worked. I mean, he's moved.
Absolutely.
He's working hard in them cities.
And I think, people, we just gotta think. We forget how spiritual things truly are, but we also do forget like the magnitude of what sin really is. Because when you're thinking, I'm just stealing a candy bar, or I'm just I'm just cursing a little here and then.
That's Satan.
I'm just drinking a little. It's nothing like crazy, but man, that stuff snowballs. I think Mike Ackerman talks about this. It's a professor here at Ozark that if you are willing to cheat on a test, you'd be willing to cheat on your wife. And it sounds like you're like, what? I would never do that. But he's like, but if you just always build that mentality of like, oh, if I cheat on this, it's fine. Okay, well, I'll just mess my numbers up a little on the insurance, and I'll get a little more back. And I'll just tell my boss that I didn't quite finish and it just builds and it builds, and sin corrupts and it corrodes, and it's like before you know it, you're stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's real. What about you?
Yeah, I was going to say let's keep this thing going.
Where are you from?
Yeah. So I got a weird story, I guess. I'm from Florida, but I live in Indiana. So like the first part of my life, I was from Florida.
Florida boy.
Florida, about like an hour south of Tampa. I grew up there until my eighth grade year. Yeah, that was rough. I'm not gonna lie. I grew up in a weird household. I mean, I love my siblings to death. I mean, they watch this. I love them to death. They know that. I love my mom to death. And it was just it wasn't a normal childhood. A very abusive stepdad. So I loved being at school. I did not like being home. But then when I was at school, like I was constantly getting in trouble. Just whatever. Like I had freedom, and so that led to worse and worse stuff. It led to me getting like expelled in 7th grade of middle school. And yeah, I remember whenever my mom and my stepdad broke up, we moved in with my grandma. So I lived with my grandma for a while. Whatever. But then one day my mom was just like, all right, we're moving to Indiana, my 8th grade year. It was like I had one day in 8th grade, and I think I about got in a fight my 8th grade year. So like a lot of Florida was like legit. Like them guys are like, man, they just like
they're crazy,
knuckleheads, bro. Like they just want to fight. And so I remember like there was a lot of fights growing up. Like I said, I got expelled for too many fights, too many arguments and stuff like that. And then I moved to Indiana. In Indiana, I think I got caught up in the wrong crowd too. From 8th grade all the way to like my sophomore year of high school is really whenever I locked in and was like, hey, I don't want to like keep going down this path. And it changed me. I got connected with a lot of better people. It was still 1 foot in, 1 foot out type of lifestyle. I'm not perfect even now. I mess up here and there. Often. I made it sound like I didn't mess up at all. No, I mess up, guys. I'm a sinner.
Ruben is perfect.
That's redeemed by Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not. But yeah, I grew up. Man, I'm trying to come back to the question. What was it again? I forgot what I asked.
Just, I mean,
where you're from?
You're answering
Your
it.
life.
Indiana. So Indiana part of it all. Really, man, it's one of those things where it's like there's good people and there's bad people that you can surround yourself with. And I think I just remember always being told, like, you show me your 3 closest friends, I'll show you where you'll be in 3 years. And I never believed it. And I was like, that's such crap. Like, I can hang out with whoever I want, and I'm not going to let their attitude dictate where I go. And man, I changed the people I hung out with. Not to say like I didn't like the people I used to hang out with. I loved them. Like they're still my friends now. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, I don't know. I had to like get my mindset right.
You had to get some boundaries up.
Yeah, I had to surround myself with other people that were pursuing the same thing that I wanted to pursue.
Yeah.
Which was Jesus Christ. And man, I hung around with some high schoolers in my age that were pursuing Christ, and I mean, it was great. I mean, I understood who Jesus was more. I seen it just in the way that they loved me and at the way that they loved others. And I looked back at my old friends and I love them to death. Like I really do. Like they're people I try to pour into today. Like I reach out and stuff. I love them. But it's just like it goes back to that quote. Like you show me your 3 closest friends, I'll show you where you'll be in 3 years. But it's just like, hey, I find myself when I hang out with sinners, I tend to do or fall into the things that the sinners do.
Yeah.
But if I hang out with the righteous, I mean, they call me out on my stuff. They lead me the right way. And they make me want to be a better person. And I'm not in a place right now, I guess, and this is kind of getting personal, but it's just, I mean, we're just real, or we're trying to be real. I'm not in a place right now to be like, surround myself with like people who are like, not going down the right way, like by myself, you know what I mean? Because then it's like, I don't know, if they start letting some things fly, and I might let some things fly, and it's just like, no, like I need to build that boundary more, and just be a better man of God, and that's what I'm pursuing, and I know you guys are as well. But yeah, I don't know that understands where I come from, in Indiana, and so
it's real, man.
If I could ask you two boys, and I'll kind of voice it in too, what was the moment in your like upbringing? You know, we kind of talked about where we're from, all that stuff. But what was that moment where it's like Jesus like was made real for you? It might be.
Ask that.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. So it might be. I don't know. It might be your baptism, but I'm not saying it's like, you know, because I was baptized at 8, but I don't think like Christ became like real in my life until like my senior year of high school. You know, so I'm just curious to know, what was that moment for you guys?
Yeah.
Kaden, you got it, or you want me to get it?
You got it. Yeah, go ahead.
For me, it was honestly like a bunch of stuff that just piled up. And it was like, at one moment I just woke up, I was like, oh, he's trying to talk to me. But I'll kind of explain it from as far back as I can go for you to understand. So it was my junior year of high school. And 3 of my buddies passed away. Davidson, Ruben, and James, they passed away. And I got a whole arm sleeve. I don't know if you guys seen it in the video, but I got a whole arm sleeve. And it's kind of like just in remembrance of them. And whenever they passed away, honestly, I left God. I was just done with it. I wouldn't even call myself a follower to begin with, like before that moment, but it was like, hey, I was trying to figure out who he was. And this was my junior year of high school. And I just remember like just asking the question of like, if God's so real, like why would he allow this to happen to people who like, I mean, they're not doing no wrong. I mean, 2 of them were like really good kids, really good guys.
And especially for, I mean,
and you
were junior, but you're young. Like that, you're not that old to have to process through 3 deaths.
It's a lot.
Yeah. I mean, they were good guys. Another one, love them to death. Just kind of the same lifestyle as me. I mean, just partying, going out, and just doing dumb things. But it was like we didn't do no bad, in our eyes. In the eyes of God, But I mean, like we were just genuine people, just trying to like just having fun. And they passed away. They were my age, and so that hit a little deeper.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I just remember like if God's so real, like why would he allow this to happen? And it brought me back. And I didn't say this, but I was kind of sharing in the beginning, like growing up like a very abusive household. And I just remember even like back in that time, like I was asking a question of like, if God's real, why would he allow this to happen to these kids, like us, like be abused?
Yeah.
And so it just brought me back to that moment of like, yeah, God's not real. Like I didn't care, didn't really bother to listen to go back to it. But I had this my mentor, Andrew Raymond. You met Andrew before on the Tuesday tour.
He's a G, y'all.
He's great. He's
cool.
like he's literally like one of like my father figures in my life.
That's
Youth
awesome.
pastor at your church in Indiana.
Oh, he was, he stepped down,
Okay.
But so he's like my father figure, mentor, best friend, like all in one. But I remember like he was reaching out my junior year of high school, like, hey, like come to CIY with us. I want you to be there. Like it'll be fun. And I was like, yeah, like no, I don't think so. Like I'm just not gonna go this year. And he kept reaching out, and like I think it was like on the 3rd time, he was like, hey, like come to CIY, like don't worry about the cost, like we'll pay for it.
That's awesome.
Pay for everything. Like we just want you to go.
Yeah.
And it was like in between the lines or something like that. And I was like, you know what? Like I'll go. Like I'll go out, have fun, just enjoy it, whatever. And so I went, and I remember just going there in the mindset of just like, I'm just going to go for fun. And it was the first night Eric Epperson had given like a sermon over like the 4 soils. Eric Epperson's just a guy. He's out of Kansas, I believe. But is he a student minister? I don't know what What do you think?
I think he was at one point. I know he works for Christ in Youth now,
Yeah,
and
he works for you right now.
I thought he was in Oklahoma now.
Yeah,
Oklahoma. Yeah, it's Oklahoma.
He's in
Yeah,
Oklahoma.
and he actually I saw him recently. I can't remember what his exact role is, but yeah, he's one of the VPs of CIY and a speaker that goes around.
So he was a speaker for the night, and he came and spoke, and like I said, he was talking about the 4 soils and the sower. And I remember we got to the rocky soil, and he was like, if you guys would reach like under your seats, like there's gonna be like a rock, like bring it up. My buddy Keegan, whatever, got the rock, and he handed it to me. He was like, you take it up, whatever. So I go up with it, and like on the rock was like the word bitterness, and I didn't know it like then. But like that's exactly how I felt like with God.
And was
like
this after the passing of your 3 friends as well?
The passing of my 3 friends, and I was just like I was bitter. I was like upset, and I looked up what bitterness meant, and it was like the feeling of undeserving or something like wrong that happened, like wasn't fair.
Yeah.
And I was like, dang, like that's how I feel about God. And I was like, in that moment, like it was just like a weight lifted off my shoulders of like and just like the thought in my head that came to my mind, like I don't even think like this, but like it came, and it was just like Jesus was like, hey, like I'm with you, and I know what you're going through, and I know how you feel right now, like, but I love you.
Yeah.
And in between the lines of that, and I was just like, whoa, and I just remember like the feeling of like the tension coming off of like feeling I have it all together.
That's awesome.
And then and I read through like the book of Job like that night. And it was Job 2:9-10, like, and it's like when his wife is telling him like turn around and like curse God, like leave him, like he's like whatever bad things are happening to him. If you don't know the book of Job, really good book, man, like godliest man in the world of that time, and like Satan wants to tempt him and like make him say like he's only being good because he has all these things, and so God allows him to be tempted or like to be taken away from God, and Job goes through these trials, and so his wife's telling him like turn and curse from God, and Job's like, be quiet, like you foolish woman, like shall we accept no evil from God but only good? And that hit me, like that like pierced my heart like that night, and I was like, dang, like that's where my heart is right now.
Crazy. The book of Job is the one that got it for you.
Yeah.
You didn't open to a gospel. You just went deep. Did your youth pastor encourage you to open that, or did you just
No, it was more of like
Holy
TikTok
Spirit.
scrolling.
Okay, and you just found
Job
it.
was referenced, and I
Man,
just
shout out TikTok, sponsored by TikTok.
No.
Book about suffering.
That's
man.
crazy though. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That is lit.
Caden?
Yeah. It's
What about
crazy.
you?
It's crazy. The Book of Job was one of the first ones you read.
And was that you? Just a question for you. Was that going into your senior year then?
Yeah, that was going into my senior year.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Because me and Ruben actually, we met at a CIY, but I believe that was, we were going into being freshmen.
Yeah, we're
We
seniors.
met, and
in
Ruben
high school.
didn't like me at first, but I think I was being
can't
rude.
say that.
I think I was being rude, so it's
say
okay.
that. When I ran into Matthew, we both listen. My senior year, his senior year, big
We were.
huge
I was about to say big personalities. Yeah.
Like, and so when I seen him, like, I didn't like get shy or whatever. I was just like, I don't know who this guy is. Like, I almost like we were both big guys, so it was just like kind of like checking each other. And he came off
Thanks.
more
You know?
aggressive, I guess,
Thanks.
more aggressive. And I was like, you got it, bro. You got it.
Two
And
big
so,
dogs walked in the room, man.
And one left.
Yeah, Matthew had it.
Oh,
Okay, all right.
And now they work out every morning together.
we do.
Or something like
and
that.
he's stronger than me now, man. I'm trying to get there.
That's what they say.
I'm trying to be like him one day when I grow up.
Ruben's really strong.
I'm not strong.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
weak.
Right. I hope for anybody who can see you through the camera, whatever that looks like from there, and they can see your arms poking out of that dry fit shirt right now. There's a reason I wear.
Someone come date this man. All right, Caden.
Get out of here. Okay,
Yeah.
let's hear it.
Christ became real to me, and I just like actively pursued him. I'd say it was at the point of my baptism. My senior year, I got baptized a week before my senior year. I grew up in a godly household on both sides, but nothing really was real to me. I was just the kid that went to the church. I was the kid that went to the youth group at times. And
Kind of your whole life, or what?
yeah,
Okay, cool. Yeah,
absolutely. Godly household, and it's just one of those deals where again you can surround yourself with it, but last time I checked, it's you having a relationship with the Lord. You know, it's not the faith of your family members that's gonna be substantial for you, and so again, it was just a life of me pursuing my identity, like you said, for a lot of kids in the city's identity crisis, trying to find it in a relationship or through a substance or whatever it be. That was just a lot of my pursuit until Lido took me under his wing, because my family completely split. My mom and dad had been divorced my whole, that's all I knew growing up. Mom on the weekdays, dad, he lived with my grandparents on the weekends. And then a big family split happened. Dad got in trouble with the law, doing some. He engaged in some very illegal activity, and
Made
so my
some
mom
mistakes,
took full custody of us. And from that point, she just made sure we're in church every Sunday. And Lito Solorio, the pastor at Countryside Christian Church in Wichita,
Great
my
man.
home church, he took me under his wing. You know, he sat down with our whole family, but it was kind of like, you know, he was like, it was one of those like, from my memory, it may be totally different from him, but it was like, I want to, you know, be there for this kid. And, you know, as says in the pastoral epistles, you know, and Paul talks about my son in the faith, my true son in the faith, Timothy and to Titus.
Yeah.
I'd say Lito was like my Paul.
That's awesome.
And he just took me under his wing, loved me, similar personalities. I know I'm chill here, but if you can't really be loud in front of a mic, that hurts you guys' ears. But I'm pretty loud. I think the three of us would agree.
If he needs he's loud.
Yeah,
we're all
of us.
We're all,
you know,
We're all
one of the critiques Ruben got was like, Matthew, pull his mic back a little. That dude's screaming. I get it. We're all loud.
It's real. But and so he really just was there for me. But it wasn't one of those deals where, again, I was living a life of sin, not pursuing Jesus. I was a part of it, but had no desire for it. I liked what I wanted. And Lito just kept loving me, though. He was just treating me. He's like, hey, man, come be a part of this. Hey, man, let me take you out for lunch.
Yeah.
Hey, man, tell me about school.
the consistency.
Yeah. And in his love towards me, I could just start seeing the love of, you know, God being poured out onto me through him because I did not pursue God myself. And it was really life-changing. My sophomore summer going into my junior year, I was at a church camp, and I remember it was so weird. I can't even remember the week. I just remember sitting in the camp called Camp Joy in small town, Nebraska. Been going there since I was a kid. It's awesome. When I don't know what happened, but I remember sitting in the dorm late at night with the counselor Dakota. He was at a church in Wyoming, and I just kept asking him a bunch of questions about the Bible, and he had every single answer. And when I reflect, I'm like, he's a Bible college.
Is he the bald one?
No. Young guy. He had a lot of hair, luscious hair. But
You're talking about this dude's arms, talking about this guy's hair.
Shout out creation, man. God made some awesome people. But I remember just asking him all these questions about creation, all these things, and he had every answer. And when I reflect, I'm like, he was a Bible college student, so he probably knew his thing. But at the same time, I can admit it was a work of the Spirit flowing through him.
Yeah.
Because there was some tough questions asked, and it was like, dang, like God might be real because God always has an answer. God never doesn't know what's going on and cannot speak to a situation and cannot meet someone where they're at. God is never lost. And that was one of those situations where God was speaking to the needs of my young soul that was just searching. And so there that night I professed, I was like, oh, they were like, do you want to be saved? And I was like, yeah, sure, yeah. And they were like, all right. And then they did what do they call it? The good confession, I believe Jesus Christ, Son of
God, my Lord and Savior.
But I hadn't got baptized, and then lived a life of sin my junior year. But then the summer going into my senior year, I went to camps. Can't really remember much of the experience. I just remember I was sitting in Countryside Christian Church one day. Don't even remember what Lito preached about, nor the altar call. I just remember our altar calls, he's always like, we don't, you know, we if you want to talk about baptism, we can, but I believe the Holy Spirit can move you in a way that if you feel the need to get baptized right now, we got clothes in the back. And I just remember sitting there. I was dinking around with one of my homeboys from back home the whole time. My mom was mad because we wouldn't be quiet. And I just remember when he said that, something in me was just like, click.
Man.
And I was like, my mom did not know what was going on. I just got up, and there was just this, I need to be baptized feeling. Hadn't even really been pursuing Christ, even leading up to that. But then I said, Lito, I think I need to be baptized. And he was like, oh, okay. And I got
to Caden?
Yeah. Oh boy, my mom, she's just sobbing. She's like, I don't know what's going on. Oh my gosh. I'm like, but I don't either. But and I got baptized, and I can tell you from the moment that I went in that water and came out, my life has just changed. Sometimes it's interesting because I'm like, I didn't have no big spiritual encounter, but and then following, it's just like the Spirit of God made His dwelling place within me, and my life has changed ever since the week before my senior year. And there's been hard days, hard weeks, hard months at times, but hey, the Lord is with me, and He has been
Yeah.
with me ever since. He saved me. He's redeeming me, and so
Yeah, amen.
Yeah.
I like
awesome.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I kind of even want to like add on to that, like the fact Lido kept pouring into you, kept saying like, hey,
Yeah.
kept inviting you.
That consistency is so key.
Yeah, it's a testimony of just what it means, what true discipleship looks like.
yeah,
Because you wouldn't be where you're at. I wouldn't be where I'm at, and I'm sure Matthew has a story where he wouldn't be where he's at if someone wasn't consistently
Yeah.
showing you or inviting you out to something like that's godly or
Yeah.
that's like leading to Christ.
and it speaks to the character of God,
Yeah,
constantly in pursuit of His people that are lost.
yeah,
You know, prodigal son, like waiting for his children to come
Yeah.
home. Like just, you know, it's it's
Yeah.
insane. It's unreal. But
yeah. And I guess we kind of say all that to say is like, if you're like, I'm talking to like the listeners who are listening, if you are like trying to pour into someone and you feel like nothing's happening, just know that's okay.
keep chasing him.
You're not called to make the tree grow. You're called to water, or like to plant the seed. Sorry, you're not called to water. You're called to
Love
plant the
'em.
seed.
Love him, love him, love him.
Yeah, and God's gonna do all the growing.
Dude.
And so yeah,
That's the beauty in it, dude. I mean, like my story speaks to it. Like if there's people you guys are discipling, or like if you're watching this and there's people you're trying to pour into, like there's nothing that's changing. Trust that the Spirit that is at work within you is working through you.
Yeah.
That's it is not like we are not gonna be the ones like on Judgment Day passing people through heaven or hell. We are called to be disciples. We're called to love God, love people, and allow the Lord to do the rest. That's called trust.
yeah.
And man, my life is just a testament of that. And so if that's even you and you're pouring into people, bro, just keep
That's
doing
awesome.
it. Keep loving.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah.
Let's hear it, Matthew. Sorry, we kind of got one little tangent.
No,
there, but
you guys had some great stuff. That's
Yeah.
why I'm like, how much time we have left? I don't need to.
Yeah.
we got time for you. And
Okay.
then we'll wrap it up and get to going to the next one.
All right, fantastic.
Always
I
got
can
time.
hit mine real quick. So I come from. I mean, truthfully, I was so blessed by my upbringing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Praise
Christian,
God.
Yeah, amazing Christian
Praise
families.
God.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, I hear so many people be like, I have a boring testimony. I'm like, that's
Yeah.
good. Like, that's awesome.
Praise
That,
God.
yeah, like that's such
Yeah.
a great thing that like you don't have like. I never had like my parents. My parents had a radical transformation of their marriage. My dad used to be a drinker, and at one point in his life was smoking and doing drugs. And,
Yeah.
and my mom and they would fight all the time, and they were on the brink of divorce. They had me in college. They both had to drop out. They got pregnant with my sister, and then they got married, and then my sister was born. So we were just kind of in this like really like. You know, if you kind of even look at like the family history of like, especially my dad's side, it was like we were kind of going on that track.
Yeah.
But then like my mom even says like one day my dad called her. She thought it was going to be a divorce. He said, hey, I think we should go to church. And from that moment forward, my dad got baptized. Then a couple months later, my mom got baptized. And a little bit after that, my dad's like, oh, I need to go back to school and become a pastor. So that was kind of all going on when I was like in, my mom's going to yell at me over this. I think I was in first grade when this was happening. So still so young where it's like my entire upbringing was a Christian family. And that was really great for me. And my dad was constantly pouring wisdom into me. That's why when you say like you got people in your life, I can think of my dad, Steve Wolf, but I can also think of like small group leaders like Jason Graham. Man, he was my small group leader from sixth grade all the way to I graduated, and all these other great men. Even I'm thinking Liam Dobbins and Alex Williams, all these people that were just pouring into me. But I think one thing, like I kind of went back to, one thing I always struggled with wasn't my understanding of who God was. Like in my mind, I was always like, man, I know God's true. I know who Jesus is. I was baptized at the age of 8.
Yeah.
And I firmly believe when I was 8 years old, I knew as much as an 8th grader needed to know, right?
Yeah.
But I believed in Jesus with my heart, and I knew I was a sinner, and I knew I needed a savior. But I think one thing I really struggled with was, again, that identity and in making my faith my own. I think I had some really great moments where I would ask good questions, and maybe I'd go through a season where I'd start reading my Bible more like on my own.
Yeah.
But I just kind of fell into the trap of I just kind of knew a lot because from my dad. And I saw my dad, obviously, he was reading his Bible every morning and really devout. And again, I never like didn't really trust in God. It was just kind of like I was kind of doing my own thing. And I think I kind of remember that of even the sense when I was a freshman or an 8th grade and a freshman in high school, I just struggled with some really bad anxiety. That just kind of led to some thoughts of suicide. occasionally, and I just struggle great with that. But reflecting on that, I was very unfaithful in the way I handled it because I never really looked towards God to see, hey, could you rescue me out of this? I was just trying to always. I remember I was always like Googling what what I was feeling. I was always thinking, I'm like, I need to go get on a medicine. I got to go do this. And again, nothing wrong with going to see a counselor. Nothing wrong with seeing medicine. But I just wasn't seeking God in that. And that again continued to. I always wanted to kind of fit in high school, but also I was like, I wanted to serve in the church. I was just all over the board. And I can even remember going like, I don't really want to be a pastor because I was going, that's what my dad does.
Yeah.
Again, nothing against it, but I was just kind of like, that's what my dad does. I don't want to do that. And then, my dad always laughs at me for, I won't get into the whole thing, but I wanted to go be like a graphic design teacher in high school. And he's always like, you wanted to be an artist. And I was like, all right. But so I wanted to do that. I wanted to coach basketball, whatever. But yeah, going into my junior year of high school, I was at a CIY, and similar story to kind of you of like, you're like, that's me. I forgot who the director, I forgot the sermon, I forgot everything, but I just remember it was, hey, Stan, if you want to go into full-time vocational ministry. And it was serious. Like the Spirit lifted me up out of that seat. And I think that was at least the beginning of when things got real for me, but I still just made mistakes. Going into my senior year, again, I'm trying to live for the Lord. I'm going to Ozark now at this point, going to my senior year. But like we kind of talked at the beginning, when sin snowballs, I went to one party and I didn't drink. And then I went to another party and I tried something. I went to a third party and I ended up getting drunk.
Right.
And I really think for me, it was, man, after that night, and I remember waking up the next morning, and I remember my parents weren't home. I think they left early to go to work or something. And I remember sitting in my house, I was hungover, and thinking, man, what am I doing? And I was even thinking about, and I realized in that moment, I was like, man, God's been so faithful in my life. Like when I was struggling, he was faithful through my own faithfulness. When I was with these identity crises, he was still giving me opportunities to be a leader. I was a basketball coach, or not basketball coach. I was for sixth graders, but I was a captain, and I had this responsibility at church running a small group. And even in this moment now, I'm like, man, I messed up and I got drunk at a party, but it's like, man, but God still loves me. And I remember even when I told my dad, I confessed to him, I don't really I'm a terrible liar because I just got to get it out. And I told my dad about it probably a day or two later. And man, he was so gracious to me in that. And I think that was such a big, like, I really thought like, this is going to be the end of me. I just got drunk at a party. And
that's you're canceled.
But just so much grace. And that grace was just kind of like my dad's grace to me was a reflection of the grace of the Father. And again, that's like my testimony of like, man, God is just faithful even in the midst of our unfaithfulness. And I wasn't blaspheming God. I wasn't spitting in the face of God. I was just simply just not really I wasn't being devout to him.
You weren't walking with him.
And I think after that moment, I can even remember like waking up in the mornings and like reading my Bible and stuff. And especially like that year, like that summer before I went, I was an intern for the church too. So I was able to preach on stage for our youth group. And I remember that summer going into it, I would like the first time I would wake up and I would like read my Bible and I had a Bible study. And I was like,
that's dope.
All of a sudden it was like, man, I love this. And then I came to college and it's like, I just continued to mature and I continued to grow. And I'm just so in love now with like, just studying and learning more about God and just his faithfulness.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Real spiel.
Yeah.
Testament of the goodness of the Lord,
Absolutely.
man. And it's always his people doing the work.
Absolutely. Yeah. I had so many people pouring into my life. And that's why I think I'm here today. It is simply because, man, I want to be that same person. Amen. You know, I want to, like my dad was to me, I want to be that for my son, but also how like Jason Graham was to me, I want to do that to other students. I just, you know, it's awesome.
Yeah. And I even like kind of how you opened it up with like the boring testimony. Like that's like, it's like prophecies being answered in the Bible. And I say that because like I've like, that's kind of how I open it, like with like when leading like middle schoolers or like high schoolers. I just remember like saying like, hey, I don't know where you come from. I don't know what you're going through, what you're walking through. Like maybe like you're still trying to figure out who Jesus is, but I want you to know like, no matter what, like your story has a purpose and a meaning. And like, if you've been born into it, like just know like you are a testament of the Bible. And that has authority. Like that's beautiful. And it just sucks that the world has made it like seem or like make it feel, I guess, like, oh, I just grew up in it, like it's boring, and it's like, no, dude, that's beautiful, dude. Like,
And I
that's
think I
awesome.
definitely thought that at one point, but like, yeah, reflecting on it, and it's like, yeah, I'm so blessed.
Yeah.
I'm so blessed in that, and you know, I wish everyone was blessed in the way that I
Yeah.
am, but the fact that I am, I'm like, well, then I need to use this to my advantage.
Yeah. Yep. When I have children, I don't want my kids to live the life that I lived because the sin that I've committed in my life and the ripple effect that it's had on my life, even up until this point, it's like, and it makes sense as to why, you know, the scripture, we are called to hate sin and not, you know, indulge in the very things that separate us from the love of God.
Absolutely.
And so, no, I hope my kids can say, yeah, my dad said he had a rough life.
Yeah.
Never really experienced much of what he went through, though.
Yeah, but I love,
Praise God.
That generational impact is so awesome. I tell my parents all the time because, you know, I do have a lot of extended family members that aren't saved, but like I tell my family, it's like the way that I grew up is I know, okay, my immediate family's saved, and then it's like we got some far off people, we got some you know, not crazies, but we just got people that are hurt.
Yep.
But it's like my kids will be able to go like, oh, like grandma and grandpa, like they're Christian, and I know my aunt and uncles and stuff, they're all Christian. It's like my kids are now gonna like fully be in that, and it's just, I mean, even with you though, it's like you're breaking this generational problems with an abusive household. It's like your kids won't know that.
Yeah.
You know?
They'll only know the stories that you tell them.
Exactly. It's exciting.
All they know is, oh, Dad, Ruben. Oh, I get giddy when we talk about family and just, bro, probably 5 to 7 years from now, one of us
Like
is going to have a
6 or
baby
7,
running around here. All right. That's crazy to think about.
Hey,
And
Matthew's gonna be the one,
Facts,
bro. Hey, he's already talking about buying this ring.
word on the street.
Hey, Jessica, it's coming.
No, brother.
It's coming.
Hey, all I'm saying is somebody in this room going to be a daddy. All right. And I'm single. Ruben?
I'm single, dog. What are we talking about this?
I don't know,
How do
bro.
we
I'm
get
not. If someone's watching this and my parents are gonna be like, "You're buying a ring," no. Oh my goodness.
Hey,
Just D1 yappers here.
that's what we do best, man.
But yeah. All right, guys, we're going to have to cut this video short. Sorry for the cutoff. But yeah, we've got to get going. We got to get this next video rolling because next week we some of us got to leave early. But yeah, this has been the Run Differently podcast. And yeah, if you're new here, if you haven't tuned in, this week's just all about who we are. Last week was about Halloween. But yeah, our podcast just comes from 1 Corinthians 9:26, where Paul says he doesn't run aimlessly. He's running as if he has a target, and his target's Jesus Christ. And the same is true with us. We're not running aimlessly. We have our eyes set on Christ. And yeah, the world's going to tell you that there's many different paths to follow. And we just want to help you guys understand that the world's going to tell you that, but you can still choose the one and to follow that. Run like you're running for the Lord, because we all have a race to run, and we're called to be set apart. So yeah, with that being said, love you guys. Kate and Neil, Matthew, you guys got any last words?
Signing off, man. Love you guys.
Go get yourself body armor. See you.